So today, we're going to dive into what's essentially the digital nervous system behind global commerce, Oracle Supply Chain Management. We're going to break down how the world's biggest companies track literally everything, from a single screw to a finished product, all inside one massive integrated system. All right, let's get into it.
Just stop and think for a second about the laptop that might be sitting right in front of you. How did it actually get there? Its journey involved hundreds of different parts from dozens of suppliers. It probably crossed oceans and borders. The whole thing sounds impossibly complex, right?
Well, it turns out it's all orchestrated by this digital backbone. A system like Oracle SCM connects every single step of that journey. So that's exactly what we're going to do in this explainer. We're going to follow a product on its journey, right from the initial need for a part all the way to the final payment from a happy customer.
Our journey starts right at the very beginning, getting the parts and materials you need to build something. This is the world of procurement, and in Oracle's lingo, it's a process they call procure to pay.
What's so cool about this is how it maps out the entire life cycle. It all kicks off with an employee somewhere just saying, hey, we need this, and it doesn't end until the supplier has the money in their bank account. So let's break down some of the most crucial steps here.
So everything, and I mean everything, starts with what's called a purchase requisition. Now, this isn't an order to a supplier just yet. It's really just an internal request. So imagine an HR manager needs, say, 50 new office chairs. She hops into the system and creates a requisition. That request then gets automatically routed for budget approval before it can ever become a real order.
Okay, so once that request is approved, it turns into a purchase order, or a PO. And there are two main flavors. A standard PO is for a one-off purchase, pretty simple. But for all the stuff you buy over and over again, like paper or coffee, you'd use a blanket purchase agreement. You negotiate a fantastic price once, and then people can just draw from it all year long without needing a new approval every single time. You can see how this just slashes the amount of admin work, right?
So, how do you even find those opportunities for a great blanket agreement? Well, that's where spend classification comes in. The system uses these really smart, sometimes even AI-driven tools to categorize every single dollar the company spends. This is the moment a company shifts from just reactively buying stuff to proactively and strategically sourcing it. It uncovers patterns you would just never see otherwise.
And, the impact here can be huge. By classifying its spending, a company might suddenly realize it's buying IT hardware from 15 different suppliers. By bundling all that spending with just 2 strategic partners, they could easily negotiate a discount of around 15%. That's the real power of having all your data talking to each other in one place.
All right, so we've bought the stuff. The parts and materials have arrived at the warehouse. Now what? Well, now we have to manage it all. And this is the domain of inventory management.
A modern warehouse isn't just a big box full of stuff. It's meticulously organized. A sub-inventory is like a neighborhood, a logical area for, say, finished goods. But the real magic is the locator. It's the exact street address for every single item. So the system doesn't just say an item is in the Chicago warehouse. It tells the picker, go to aisle A1, rack 3, bin 2. You're basically eliminating all that wasted search time and making fulfillment way, way faster.
Okay, so we know the physical location of every single item down to the bin. But here's the million-dollar business question. Just because something is sitting on the shelf, does that mean it's actually available for a new customer order? Well, not necessarily.
And the system answers that question with something called ATP, or Available to Promise. ATP is a live, real-time calculation. It looks at what you have on hand, then it subtracts anything that's already reserved for other orders, and it even adds in shipments that you know are on the way. And here's the bottom line. When you promise a customer a delivery date, you can be confident you can actually hit it. Now for a really, really clever inventory strategy, consignment inventory. Think about a giant car manufacturer. They need thousands of parts, like car seats, ready to go. With consignment, the seat supplier actually stores their seats right there at the car factory. But here's the kicker. The car company doesn't own them or pay for them until the very moment a seat is pulled onto the assembly line. It's a massive advantage for cash flow.
So, we've bought the parts, we're managing all the stock in the warehouse. Okay, now it's time to flip the script and look at the customer-facing side of things. This whole process is called order to cash, and it's all about delivering on the promise you made to your customer.
And just like the procurement side had its own life cycle, the customer side does too. It kicks off the second a customer clicks buy on your website, and it isn't considered complete until their payment is in your bank and applied to their account. Every single one of these steps is tracked and automated.
But what if a customer orders some specialized item you don't normally keep in stock? That's where a drop shipment comes in, and it's pretty slick. The system automatically creates a purchase order for your supplier, but, and this is the cool part, it uses the customer's address as the final destination. The goods go directly from the factory to the end user, completely bypassing your warehouse. It's a great way to offer a much wider catalog of products without taking on all the inventory risk.
So what happens when you get a big order, but you're a little short on stock? The system handles this intelligently by creating a back order. Let's say a customer orders 100 widgets, but you only have 70. Oracle doesn't just wait. It ships the 70 you have right away. Then it automatically reserves the next 30 that arrive in the warehouse specifically for that customer and ships them out to complete the order, keeping the customer in the loop the entire time.
So far, we've seen how the system executes all these transactions. Buying, storing, selling. But who's making the big strategic decisions? Who's pulling the strings? Well, let's zoom out and take a look at the brain of the entire supply chain operation.
And here it is, the Oracle Supply Chain Planning Cloud. You can think of this as the central intelligence hub that's looking at the entire global network. It takes in all the data we've been talking about and helps the business make the absolute best decisions possible to perfectly balance supply with demand.
And it's incredibly powerful. It acts as a forecaster, using historical data and AI to predict what customers are going to want in the future. It's also a master planner, creating a detailed supply plan that basically answers 3 critical questions. What should we make? What do we need to buy? And where should we put our inventory around the world to meet that demand? It's really the strategic layer that makes sure the whole operation is aligned.
When you boil it all down, all this complex planning is really about achieving 3 simple but powerful business goals. Number 1, you want to reduce stockouts so you never disappoint a customer. Number 2, you want to minimize the excess inventory that's just tying up cash. And number 3, by doing those 2 things, you naturally deliver the best possible customer service.
Okay, let's bring this all home. If there is one single thing to take away from this entire explainer, it's this. The real power comes from having everything connected.
Think about it. That simple requisition created by an employee in procurement has a direct, real-time impact on the available-to-promise number that the order management team is looking at. That ATP check then determines the delivery date you promise a customer. And a delivery confirmation from logistics automatically triggers an invoice over in finance. It's this one seamless, real-time flow of information. That integration, that's the superpower.
And all of this brings us to one final critical question to think about. In today's world, a supply chain isn't just about moving boxes and trying to save money. When you run it with this level of intelligence and integration, it stops being a cost center and it becomes your single greatest competitive weapon.